sizzle of McDonald's sausage. It's enough to make you crave your favorite breakfasts. Enough to head over to McDonald's. Enough to make you really wish this commercial were scratch and sniff.
And if you're a sausage person, now get 2 satisfyingly savory sausage McGriddles, sausage biscuits, or sausage burritos for just $3.33. Or mix and match. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's Steve Mills here, and it's great to be back with you. If this is the first time you've listened to my podcast, then welcome. If you've been before, you subscribe to my podcast, which I hope you do, then welcome back. You may hear in the background the rustling of leaves and the wind blowing through my very, very short hair, but I'm out in my garden right now walking around. I find it's a good place to think, isn't it? You know, walking. I've got a friend and a colleague called Jackie Jarvis who runs a business called Netwalking, which is a great title anyway. It's a little bit like networking but without the breakfast. Instead you go a walk and then call for a coffee on the way back. And I really like it because it's a great way of doing exercise and networking at the same time, but it's also a really good way of thinking. I always find, when I have something to think about, I get up out of my seat and I walk backwards and forwards, and I'm contemplating and thinking about what I need to do, and so on and so forth. So right now, I've just completed 1 lap of my garden, and I'm just about to start on lap number 2. So anyway, what's today all about? Today's really about websites. So many people have a website. Nearly every business in the UK has got a website. Not quite all, but most certainly. And one of the biggest problems with that is that most of those businesses are winning nothing, and I mean nothing, from their website. They've got it there, and it's almost dormant. It's almost like just literally a waste of time, effort and money. And often these same businesses have put thousands of pounds into developing the website. Not only that makes it even worse, they've spent lots and lots of hours getting it designed, writing all the words, uploading pictures, adding videos and so on and so forth, only to find that it wins 0 business. Now, why is that? What's wrong? Why, when you've got a really nice website, doesn't it work? I cast my mind back many, many years to a day where I did some training in K&H. Great people, great company based up in Thiel near Reading. And the training wasn't for them, but it was for their clients. I was doing some training in marketing. And there was a lady who attended who told everybody that she had, and bear in mind, this is a good few years ago. I bet it's at least 10 years ago. So think of that in terms of the money I'm just about to tell you. So she said that she had just spent, get this, £50,000 developing a new website. Now, I was stunned. I said, 50 grand? Yeah, wow. I said, let me have a look and see what a £50,000 website even looks like. I don't think I've ever seen one before. So she gave me the domain and I put it up on the screen. And I've got to say, it was the absolute biz. I mean, this website looked fantastic. She actually sold holidays on cruise ships. So it was high end. This was, the sales were, I don't know what they were, but they're probably several £1,000s per person per holiday. And she was selling these on a website, and the website looked absolutely fantastic. And I said, well, your site looks great. What's wrong? She said, well, I don't know. We launched this site 6 months ago, and it's virtually won us no business whatsoever. I said, right, okay, so you spent 50 grand on your website. How much did you spend on marketing the site? She went, well, none. It cost £50,000, and that was all our budget. I said, I wonder whether that's anything to do with it. Because the first thing that you need to do in terms of marketing your website. And probably the most important thing, although I'm going to contradict myself in a few minutes, and that is getting traffic. You've got to get people. If you've got a great website, but you never put any effort into it, whether that's financial effort or time effort, but you put no effort into it at all, then what you've got is a nice brochure that nobody ever sees. It's like spending, back in the good old days when I first started out, you'd develop this nice top quality brochure, and if you take that and stick it in your office desk and never show it to anybody, then it ain't really going to do you any good whatsoever. And that's what people are doing all the time in terms of websites. We've never had a better opportunity to market our website than we have right now. We can use paid advertising, we can use Google, we can use Facebook and LinkedIn and so on and so forth. We can use social media, all the different types of social media, to post things, to link things, to add people, to drive traffic to our website. And yet for most of us, we don't actually do that. So that I suppose in a way is lesson number one. This lady had got a great website, she spent a fortune on it, and she'd done nothing in terms of marketing. So we've got to get traffic. So I implore you, I encourage you, I beseech you to think about what are you doing right now in terms of driving traffic to your website. Now, obviously, with things like Google Analytics, you can see your results. That's the great thing about today's modern digital marketing. That's certainly one of the great things, that whether it's working. When you stick an advert in a glossy magazine 25 years ago, you had no clue whatsoever as to whether anybody was reading it. The only indication you'd had really is how much you made in sales. But with a website, you've got to know, step one, how many people are coming to your website. Now, that's going to vary according to what you do, obviously. If you've got a fishing tackle shop on the Isle of Wight, you're probably not going to get 100,000 people every day visiting your website. If you're selling, mobile phones throughout the world, you might be hitting those numbers. But I suppose my comment to you is, whatever you are getting, if you're getting, a typical small business probably gets less than 500 people to the website per month, not per day, but per month. Now, if you set a target of, right, I'm going to double that, or I'm going to quadruple that, excuse me, and you're going to get 2,000 people to your website in the next month, then, that might be a good target. I think, if you've not been doing very much to get traffic to your website and you start doing quite a bit, then there should really be a good target would be to double the amount of people that visit your website. Now, here's the problem with what I've just said. If you spend a load of money and time and effort getting people to visit a website that doesn't convert, then what's the point? What's the point in getting a load of people to visit your website if it doesn't convert? Well, what do I mean by convert? Well, I don't necessarily mean people buy, because they may or may not buy. People don't buy that much on my website. They make inquiries. They come to my website and they contact me. They book a meeting. It's more of a longer process, It takes a few days normally. They book a meeting, and that meeting will be in a few days. Then we'll have the meeting, and then they'll either buy or not buy, or sometimes they'll say, we need to go and speak to X, Y, or Z person in order to confirm things, and then perhaps we'll have another meeting, and so on and so forth. So, I'm not suggesting that conversion means a sale. Let's just say that. Conversion could be that they've watched a video and signed up to my webinar. I'd consider that to be a conversion. Ultimately, it's about how much business do I create. And if we get into the worlds of key performance indicators, KPIs, I'd be talking to you about getting more people to your site, improving the conversion rate or the inquiry rate of those people. So they're the real two things. So if your website is not converting, even if you're only getting 500 people, the world average apparently is 1% conversion rate. So if you get 100 people to your website, that should, on average, compared with everybody else who's got a website in the world, equal one inquiry. 100 people equals one inquiry. Now, whether that's true, I don't know. Whether that's just urban myth, it's not something I can vouch for, but it's certainly something that I've heard listening to lots of other sort of sales and marketing experts. Sorry about the noise. I've got a tractor going past me right now. I live in the middle of the beautiful Isle of Wight, right in the countryside. We've got farms and all that sort of stuff around us, cows and sheep and you name it. So apologies for the little bit of noise there. But so where was I? So let's just have a look at why your website is not converting, and more importantly, what to do about it. Now, it could be that the wrong people are coming to your website. They're people who, for example, are, they don't have any money. They're starting up, so finance is tight, and they're starting up in business, and you're trying.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/25.
Behind every BP fill-up, thousands of people across America go to work every day. People producing energy offshore. People turning it into products at our refineries. People doing R&D to make products that are better for your engine. People trading and shipping fuels to their destinations. And the people who help you at one of BP's growing family of retail stations. They're part of the more than 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.
To sell them your £20,000 training program. They're just not in that market right now, or they're looking for a little motorboat, and you're selling £10 million Sunseeker yachts. They're not really in your market. So that can be one thing. So making sure it's the right people turning up at your website is really key. So the next thing then is to take a look. Once you're getting the right people and enough of them going to your website, is to take a look at the site. There's something wrong if it's not converting. The first thing I always do is have a look at the headlines on the page, because there's an old saying in advertising that the headline is the advert for the advert, and the conversion rate comes down to 80% of the success of your advert, or in this case your web page, is down to the headline that you use. And yet I see headlines like "our services" or "about us" on our website. I mean, can you not write anything more boring than "our services"? And that also affects things like SEO, search engine optimization. Where would Google register? If you think of Google as being like Yellow Pages, okay, those of you who are old enough to know what I'm talking about here. But basically Google's a directory. Where would it put a page called "our services"? You don't know, do you? Because it doesn't know either. It wouldn't have a clue. So even just changing the name on your page called "our services" from "our services" to accountancy services, plumbing services, car repair services, marketing services, whatever it is, would do two things. It would explain to people exactly what you do, and arguably, even more important, it would get you rated higher on Google, and basically that page into the right place, so that when people did look for you, they might find you anyway, which would help increase the number of people that come to your website in the first place. So look at the headlines, look at the subheads in the same way, the subheads on the page. That's another good one. Think about the words. Is this website well written? Is it clear? Does it explain what you do? I've read websites, particularly home pages, and I haven't got a clue what that company does. I really do not know. So go and have a look at the words. See if you could improve the words. Has it got, little mistakes like typos and things like that? I know that's something I've sometimes, excuse me again. I know that's sometimes something that I've got wrong, I think I'm a little bit dyslexic, to be honest, but that's no excuse, because it should be proofread and make sure that it's 100% correct. But who's perfect? I know I'm not. So go and have a look at that. Next thing, photos. Photos. Now, photos are really important, photographs, and we can all buy stock photos. I actually love the idea of two things. One, theming my site. Do I want my website to look professional? Do I want it to look friendly? Do I want it to look like a family business? Do I want it to be people orientated? I've always believed quite passionately that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So I believe in doing things like adding all my contact details to my website, have pictures of me on there, because they're buying me at the end of the day. I'm the one that's going to be giving them advice. I'm the one that's going to be helping them to grow their business. And when they look at my picture on my website, I've got to portray a professional image. I don't want to look like an axe murderer, and I don't want to look like, somebody who's been dragged through the street on a tractor for a quarter of an hour. I want to look professional, and hopefully I do that on my site. So that's really important. Another one, video. What better way is there to get somebody to get to know you than listen to a video? Certainly on a website. The better way is to meet them, obviously, but if you're on somebody's website, then you can sort of meet them by video, by listening to them on video. So somebody listens to me on my website, they think, do you know what, that's Steve Mills, he seems to know what he's talking about, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to book a meeting with him, because it might be just the best thing I've ever done to grow my business. So add videos to your website. What about video testimonials? You think, well, I ain't got any video testimonials, Steve. No, well, get some. Go and get some video testimonials for your website. Really, really powerful, and I strongly recommend that you go and add video testimonials to your website. Now, what else have we got? Well, we've got non-video testimonials. People telling you how, or telling other people how good you are, how great your service is. There's an old saying, I think, that it goes something like this. It's more important what other people say about you than it is what you say about yourself. My mum told me that years ago when I was a little kid, and that is really, really true. So, make sure that you've got testimonials and video testimonials added to your site. Now, last but by no means least, in fact, arguably the second most important thing, is that you have a call to action, what I call a CTA, a call to action on your website. Now, when I say on your website, I mean on pretty much all your web pages, not just on the Contact Us page. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about just on your home page either. I'm talking about having multiple calls to action, whether that's buy it now, or book a meeting, or sign up to the webinar. Whatever it is you want people to do, ask them to do it. Ask them to do it lots and often, and make sure you ask them to do it on each page. Now, 90% of the websites or web pages that I look at don't have a call to action. If yours does, a big tick there, well done. But my next question is, where is it? Because if you're like most people, guess where it is? It's right down at the bottom. It's right down at the bottom where nobody can see it, or where most of the people don't get to. So it needs to be not only at the bottom, it arguably needs to be in the middle and even at the top of the page. So some people are going to go to a page, they might go to my LinkedIn training, go, oh, Steve does LinkedIn training. Oh yeah, we need that. Let's have a little look. They read a few things, a few bullets about what we do, and they go, that's perfect. How do I sign up? Oh yeah, the box is there. Just click that, put your credit card in. Others, sorry, my throat's getting a little bit dry. Others, want to read everything, want to read it in triplicate. Want to make sure it's 100% right for us before we go ahead. They want to read all the text on your page and watch your video and so on and so forth. So, think about your call to action and work on what you need to do to improve that and to get better results from your website. So I think that's just about everything covered. Certainly not everything that you need to do. I've not covered things like email marketing, not really covered social media, or how to improve, what you need to do to change your headline. And what else haven't I covered? Search engine optimization, how to do pay-per-click advertising and so on. But we can do that for you, and we can show you how to do it. Ground. They'd had 0 leads. I came along and they said to me, what do you think we should do? I said, well, I think the problem's the headline. Now, the headline was the name of the company. I said, why are you using your company? Are you well known? They said, oh, no. It's all about brand awareness. So I said, well, do you want brand awareness, or would you like to win some business? Do you want to get some money into the bank? They said, oh, yeah, we want to get money. I said, well, why don't you change the name of your business in your headline to what your product does? What does it do? And they said, well, if they buy one of these £2.5 million pieces of equipment, on a local authority, it will save them about between £5 and £10 million per year in recycling costs. And typically the equipment lasts 10 years. So potentially it's worth 50 to 100 million pounds. I said, well, that's interesting. Why don't we use that as a headline? So we came up with a headline called Local Authorities Save 5 to 10 million pounds per year on recycling. Inquire here, phone this number. Long story short, 2 weeks later, they had 5 inquiries. 2 of those turned into sales of £5 million. I tell you that not to impress you, but just to impress upon you that, sometimes we don't always get it right. Sometimes we think the headline's good, we think the adverts will convert, but the bottom line is it doesn't. So we need to change it. And that is just as true today with your website as it was years ago when that company was advertising. So that's it. If you want to book a meeting with me, if you want to ask me some questions, feel free to do so. Just simply go to results-mastery.com and get yourself signed up. Thanks very much for listening.
New holiday deals just dropped at Lowe's. Get up to 30% off select major appliances, plus an additional $75 off for every $1,000 you spend on select kitchen major appliances from brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Amana, and Maytag. And don't miss big savings on DeWalt. Save $80 on a DeWalt 20-volt max 2-tool combo kit. Was $229, now just $149. Lowe's knows deals. Offers valid 12/5 through 12/11. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowes.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
Most weight loss plans are one size fits all, not taking into account each person's individual needs. Noom is here to change that. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain. But it also takes into account your unique biological factors, which also affect weight loss success. The program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have cravings. Everyone's journey is different, so your daily lessons are personalized to you and your goals. One of the great things about Noom is that it's nourishing instead of restrictive. They focus on progress instead of perfection. You don't have to give up carbs, or anything for that matter. Have cravings? Food FOMO? Noom can help you lose weight while still enjoying your favorite foods. To date, Noom has helped more than 5.2 million people lose weight. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com.